Howdy, y'all. Hope you're having a wonderful day like I am. I was sitting here thinking back about a couple that lived down here in these here hills. Yeah, they's known as Liza and Rastus. See, Liza and Rastus kind of were friends, lovers maybe at times. Well, one day, Liza, now remember, Liza is a lady of ill repute. And so, therefore, she was sitting out on the front porch one day in a gingham dress, had her legs propped up on the banister. Wasn't wearing no underwear. No, sirree, she weren't. And she was just taking everybody's picture with that hairy camera of hers. And anyway, old Rastus, he come walking up on the outside the fence. And he looked up there like rising. He says, "Whoo, Liza, what that there?" She says, "Oh, Rastus, honey, that there was my washing machine." "Oh, Liza, can I come in and do my wash?" She says, "Sure enough, Rastus." And they went in the house and they did the naughty thing, and it was all over. And then the next day, Liza was wearing that same gingham dress with no underwear, had her legs propped up on the banister. Yeah, and here come Rastus up the road. Rastus stopped at the gate and he looked at Liza and he said, "Liza, honey, how's your washing machine working today?" She says, "Oh, Rastus, my washing machine's working just fine. Can I come in again today and do my wash?" She says, "Well, Rastus, if you don't got any more washing what you had yesterday, why don't you go home and do it by hand?" Well, they kind of got together a little bit, and one day they was headed down the railroad tracks to town. They was just going to walk the railroad tracks because it was shorter. But along them railroad tracks, there's a big old hill over on this side, big old drop-off on this side, and telephone poles, little short telephone poles that run all the way down the track. Anyway, they was walking down the track, and the train whistle blowed, and there was a train a-coming, and old Liza, honey, she ready for the hills. Right up that hill she went, and she looked around, she goes, "Oh, Rastus, where are you?" Rastus says, "Liza, honey, I'm sitting up here on top of this here telephone pole." She goes, "Oh, Rastus, that telephone pole's too short. That train comes, it's going to suck you off." He said, "Come on, train." They went to town after the train passed. And on their way back from town, they got a little frisky. Yeah, right there in the middle of the railroad tracks. Yes, sirree, they did. And the train was coming back. And the conductor on the train seen Liza and Rastus, and he blowed his horn. And he seen that they was moving. Yeah, but they wasn't moving in the way he wanted them to move. And he laid on them air brakes. Brought that train to a screeching halt. Conductor jumped out and said, "Liza, Rastus, didn't you see the train a-coming?" Rastus says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Conductor. We seen that the train was a-coming, but Liza was a-coming and I was a-coming, and you're the only one that could stop." Well, things cracked on a while with Liza and Rastus. They decided to up and get married. Yes, they did. They got married, and the day of the wedding, they was on the beach, and Liza had on this big old Southern Belle wedding dress. Rastus turns around to Liza and goes, "Liza, why don't we consummate this marriage right here on the beach?" She goes, "Oh, Rastus, how we do that?" He says, "I'll just lay down and you just sit on top of me and cover me up with that big old hoopy dress." And she did. And they was a-sitting there. She was sitting there. He was all covered up. When the preacher come walking down the beach, preacher walks up to Liza and he says, "Liza, you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, preacher, I'm just fine." He says, "Well, Liza," he says, "I was wondering whether to build the church over there and the steeple over there, but what would you do on Sunday?" She goes, "Oh, preacher, I'd go from church to steeple, from church to steeple, from church to steeple." Yes, sirree. Anyway, that didn't last long. No, sirree. Anyway, they was up at the house one day, and old Rastus, he had ordered himself a shotgun from the Monkey Ward catalog. Yep. And it had come that day, and he called Rao, his best friend, up on the phone and said, "Hey, Rao, that there gun from the Monkey Ward catalog with that scopy thing on it, it arrived today. You want to come on over?" And they agreed to come on over and meet, and they was going to go up on the hill and check out this scope thing on this here rifle. So there's up on the hill at Rao, he had the shotgun, and he's a-looking down through that there scope, and he's going, "Wow, man, this thing's clear. Wow," he says, "I can even see that shiny black car pulled up your driveway." "What?" Yeah. He pulled up. He right parked in front of the house right now. Yeah, he getting out. Yeah. "Rastus, Liza done lick that city's liquor in your house." "Oh, Rastus, they's going in the oh, this thing's clear. They's going in the bedroom. Oh, my goodness." Ralph says, "Shoot him. That gun's loaded, Ralph. Shoot him." He says, "Okay. Just as soon as I can make time with them." Well, that caused a big row with Liza and Rastus, and they decided to go to divorce court. And they'd only been married 2 days. When all of a sudden, they go into court, and the judge says, "Liza, I just performed this here wedding 2 days ago. Why is you all wanting a divorce now?" She says, "Because he lied to me." "Lied to you?" "Yeah. He told me he had this much, and I found out it was a little bitty thing." So they got their divorce. And so Liza, she turns around and she goes back into the business. But she gets herself a protege. Yeah, this here protege, she tells the protege, she says, "Look, we're going to go in this here bar, and you listen to every word I say, because everything has meaning." So they go in and get on the bar stool, and pretty soon this good-looking feller walks in. He walks up to Liza, and he goes, "Well, howdy there, Liza." She says, "Howdy there, 4x4. Yeah. He leaves. Protege says, wait a minute. 4x4. What's 4x4 mean?" She says, "That means he's got 4 inches, and he's good for 4 times." Oh. So pretty soon this real good-looking fella come walking into the bar. He walks up to Liza, and he says, "Howdy there, Liza." She says, "Oh, howdy there, 6x6. Protege says, 6x6. 6 inches, good for 6 times? Yeah, see, you're catching on." A little later in the evening, this old geezer come walking in. I mean, he come hobbling in, and he walks up to Liza, and he says, "Oh, howdy there, Liza." She says, "Oh, howdy there, Jack Daniels." Liza, protege says, "Jack Daniels? Well, Jack Daniels is a liquor." Liza says, "Yeah, I know." The end. I'm done. That's about as dirty as the jokes get. And if you laughed, you've been bug-tussled. Okay? Love you all very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.